Okay, one last thing, or not last, but one other thing that I need to mention. Along with these jack stands, and something heavy duty that'll support the whole system, the whole weight of the truck. Wish I had a way of, like, a lift that could lift up the truck a little higher. I even thought about buying something like that, or a rack or something to get the truck up on it. But I'm not as fortunate to have that luxury. And then I don't have a whole lot of clearance up here either to lift up the truck any higher or much higher. So this is the best I can do, and it's getting it done with a little creepy crawly, little pillow for my neck. Your head, you can rest your head on there. But most importantly is this. I don't know if you can see me here, but there's a reflection of me. Hold on, let me see. Trying to get it off the glass of the truck here. But anyway, so I have this face shield thing that kind of covers my whole head, my face, my beard, because I have a beard. I don't want to get gunk on my beard. So this really protects that part of your face, and then you can kind of pull it down, tuck it in. I'm wearing some army military overalls that zip up all the way up. They're one piece. It's like a jumpsuit kind of thing. So I'm pretty well protected. I still also have a face mask for my breathing, safety glasses, and then I have the shield that I can pull down and really go to town without getting all this stuff on your face and hair and beard and all that stuff. So, and then lastly, the breathing is the most critical part. Get a good mask with a good filter, because you don't want to be breathing any of this dust that comes off of here, whether it's salt or rust, it's road grime. There's all kinds of fecal matter out there on the roads. Who knows? This truck came from Ohio, so that part of the country could be all kinds of germs and whatnot. So you don't want to be breathing that. I thought of opening the doors to the garage to get some wind circulation. But it's pretty cold outside and windy. It's like in the 30s. So I'd rather, I don't know, I might still open the doors a little later today. The dust hasn't really gotten that bad, but it's still dusty down there, and you're real close to the action. The other thing I'm also wearing is I got earplugs. I got some earplugs. And that's pretty much it, man. Just take the safety precautions so that you don't get sick or anything. Wearing gloves, and that's it. And then just go to town. All right, talk to you later. Bye. Okay, folks, taking a little break. Got all as much rust as I could removed from this rear section. Right now it's showing you the process of the needle thing with the air tool. This thing's, like I said, it's a really cool tool, but actually this one is even better. It really shakes all the rust off. It leaves a few little marks here and there, but they're like on the paint, superficial. Once we put the coral seal and then the paint, all this stuff will go away. And besides, this is all covered up with a bumper. The bumper's in good shape. There's one bolt in here that broke off. I couldn't take off, that holds a plastic clip right here. But that's okay, I'll find another way securing it there, which it really is not that critical because it's being held on by all the other areas. But I will have to replace this tin. This is a real thin sheet metal kind of bumper support that goes like alongside the back of this bumper here towards the bottom. And then there's one that goes here on the top of this thing, goes all the way across. It's like a bridge plate, and it's secured here. As you can tell, it's all rusted and gone. And this plate supports the step on the plastic bumper. If you don't put this, if you step on that, it's gonna cave in. So I think Toyota sells this little plate here along with this one, and then there's a side bracket that goes kind of like this. I think this one, yeah, there's a piece that goes here, kind of downward. But anyways, and then all this, of course, is gonna have to get replaced with fiberglass repair. Just kind of close up this area here, because water gets up in here, and you don't want that. So this needs to be like enclosed to prevent the splash from going up in there. And other than that, it's looking good. This is just the rust that came off this rear section. There's those pieces of plate, what's left of them. There's a bigger one outside that was the one that went up here, and it's all rusted out. So yeah, this thing's getting ready to get washed with the salt away. We've been picking at the bottom here. My wife has been kind of helping me. She wants to get down and dirty, so I let her have at it, and she's been picking at it. She's doing a good job, but she wants to get paid. It's the only bad thing. But anyways, thought I'd show you this. All right, it's a project, but I still haven't cussed. Thank you, Lord. And everything's good. Talk to you soon. Bye. Good morning, folks. Here's another little update on this Land Cruiser project. Excuse me. It's December 30th, or December 31st, actually. Last day of the year, 2019. Some of the parts I have on order haven't gotten here, I guess, because of the holiday, Christmas and New Year's. But they'll be arriving, I'm sure, here in the next few days. Meanwhile, I've been picking at this thing. I was able to take this rear bumper off. And I was really worried that perhaps this tow hitch, along with the frame itself, were going to be compromised and probably all rusted out, and where I was going to have to replace, do some welding, that sort of thing. And as it turns out, after picking at it, everything's solid. It's all surface rust, with the exception of this area here, which is really not part of the frame. This is actually the support stuff that supports the plastic bumper thing. It's this bracket here. There's one on each side. Then there's a plate that sits on top here that's also real thin metal, kind of. This is part of it, or what's left of it. And then there's another little piece that attaches here that goes across the bottom part here. And they're called the bumper stay. It's the rear bumper stay. Toyota sells these parts. I went ahead and ordered them. It's both brackets that attach to the frame here, and then the two plates, the top one and then this bottom. It's more of a channel actually that goes underneath, and that kind of just supports this plastic cover bumper thing that goes here. And then this top plate actually allows you to step on the bumper without distorting the plastic cover here. But anyways, everything else looks good. The hitch is gonna stay right where it is. No need to replace it or remove it. I'll just clean it up, paint it, make it look pretty again. These bolts, even though I soaked them, excuse me, sorry about that. Even though I soaked them for a couple days, they're not coming out. The two on the other side broke. These I can't even break them off. The hex is like totally stripped on them. The socket just slips on it. So I'm gonna have to take my cut off wheel and just grind them off so I can remove this bracket, and then I'll have to retap these two screws, or these two threads that are built into the frame. Drill them out and then retap them so that I can put the new screws in and the new bracket that goes here. The part that is really compromised, really bad, I showed you on the other video, is this rear quarter part of the rear panel here. Now Toyota does not sell these rear pieces here. I mean, it's just all one part of the whole panel here. I mean, there's no, I mean, they sell this whole rear quarter, but it would have to be replaced all the way up to, I think, this vent here. This whole area would need to be replaced, the whole fender well. But I don't plan on getting into it that deep. I think that's more like whenever there's a wreck and all this part gets crushed in or whatever, then there's a way to repair it that way, with replacing the whole quarter panel. But in this case, it's just this bottom area, and you know, with some fiberglass, you know, I'll cut some of this off and then just kind of drape it down and reform this bottom area here. None of it is visible. It's not gonna have to be real pretty or anything. It goes behind the bumper cover, so I just don't want any moisture or water getting up in there. So this whole area needs to just be sealed up, you know. And yeah, that's the worst of the rust on this truck. I need to pick at it some more, get rid of all this cancer, cut it here maybe, and then reshape it with the fiberglass fabric and resin. It's relatively not necessarily easy to do, but it's doable. And once it's all said and done, you shape it, then you fill it with filler, and then sand it, primer it, and paint it, and then it should look as good as new. And then so everything else looks good. There's also the other area that got really rusted out. It all has to do with the gauge of the metal. This stuff is so thin, it's like paper thin, like literally paper thin from the factory. So this sheet metal is not gonna withstand these conditions with salt and water and moisture and for a long time. Eventually Mother Nature is gonna take over, but I don't know what gauge this is, but it's super thin. And then the other area is the gas tank cover. So you have the gas tank, and then there's a cover on the outside that protects the tank. That cover is also made out of the same kind of metal, super thin, and it just kind of fell apart. It's all rusted out. So that whole cover will be replaced as well. The tank is good, and everything else is good underneath it. The suspension, everything. Excuse me. So, anyways, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's a project, and that's why I got into it too. I was looking at getting me a project for the winter, and this is it. It was going to be either this or a 1932 Ford pickup that I had found that was a real rust bucket. You think this thing's rusted out? That pickup was even more rusted. So, and that one was going to involve a new engine and tranny, drivetrain, probably even a whole new chassis, body work, upholstery, everything. And after further review, I didn't want to go that route. Figured I want a project. I think this project here is more doable and practical. There is a little bit of rust on the rear end here. There's none under the door here, where it's really notorious on these trucks to rust out. This all looks really good. The only little rust area that I see is behind this logo strip right here that says Land Cruiser on it. There's a little bit of rust right here, so I'm just gonna remove this strip and then kind of clean this whole area out. There's a little bit of rust back in there before it gets any worse. But other than that, the whole rear end part of the body here is really good, in good shape considering. So anyways, we'll keep going, we'll keep picking at it, we'll keep progressing, and I'll keep giving you updates as we move along. Hopefully some of these parts will come in after the new year, and we'll look forward to getting this truck on the road in the coming year. Hopefully, God willing, God bless. Talk to you later. Bye.